This is just a basic introduction to Uber Upgrades and what it is. So it's basically just MVM, but for one, you can PvP, and for two, you have extended, and there are a lot more upgrades. So here, when I bring up the menu, which you open up with the tab key and reload key. Next, you can just slash buy, or in the console, sm_buy. Once you do open up the menu, you'll see that there are 5 different categories. Each of these are incredibly important to learn what they do. And we'll start off with body upgrades. So, first of all, you need to navigate the menu with the numeric keys, just like a normal source mod menu, or if you really want to compare, maybe even like the voice lines menu. So, body upgrades, 1, and you'll see that there are 3 different categories inside of body upgrades. We'll go to protection because it's very easy to see. So, you'll see that there is a lot going on. So, first of all, you'll see our money count first thing on the menu next to the upgrade category, and then the upgrade selection more of, and then the upgrade category. So we'll see here on body upgrades and then protection upgrades, you'll see that max health additive bonus. You'll see that it costs 100, and you get 20 extra health per upgrade. So, like always, you'll use whatever key. So, 1. And you'll see once we bought it, the total count of health goes up, and also the cost goes up. Almost every single upgrade has this increase ratio of which they increase by each upgrade. So for example, for health on any class but heavy, it increased by $5 each buy. And the base cost is 100, so simply its increase ratio is 5%. And you'll see that once I do buy health regen, my max health is actually increased by 400. Next thing I want to talk about is your weapon upgrades. So, for each weapon, you'll have different upgrades, of course. So, for example, if we have the scattergun, you'll see that there are special tweaks, scattergun specific upgrades, and damage upgrades. We'll leave special tweaks for later since it's very important and also sort of complicated for new players. So first, when we go to damage upgrades, we'll see that there is damage, accuracy skills damage hit multiplier, heal on hit, heal on kill, and some other crit related upgrades. So first thing we'll start with damage. It's simply just a multiplier. So the way that damage works in upgrades is that they'll stack multiplicatively. So if I have 25% damage bonus, and I also have 25% damage hidden multiplier, that's 1.25 times 1.25. And it's not like additive, so it would be, if it was additive, it would be 1.25 plus 1.25, which is a lot worse when we scale it up. So reason why I left accurate scales damage out of there is because I'm gonna explain it a little bit. Alright? So, accuracy skills damage is basically just a damage bonus that lasts for 1 second after you hit something. And it gets removed when you reload. So basically, it's just another damage multiplier. Because you have so much fire in here, I guarantee you that your second hit will actually hit. Now, when we go to scattergun specific upgrades, we'll see that there's a few special things over here. So scattergun no reload single is basically just reload your full clip at once, as you can see. Now let me explain fire rate a little bit. So you'll see that fire rate bonus goes down. Now you might think that that just decreases your fire rate, but of course TF2 logic, numerical wise, it goes up, your fire rate goes up. So it's basically the multiplier of your fire rate delay, the time between each shot. And since it's a 66 tick server, there's some soft caps to it, to say that. We go to weapon spread bonus. Self-explanatory. All your bullets are clumped into one line. Crit chance, crit chance. Now, the crit chance is not the normal vanilla crit chance. It's simply just on the shot. You have a 1 out of, or 100 out of whatever crit chance you have to send a crit. Clip size, reload rate works the same way as fire rate bonus. So now we go to special tweaks. So you want to clear up all of my upgrades. So here we go. So you'll see that these are quite intimidating because they also have drawbacks. So if we go to the second page, buy our bigger caliber and go to the resupply menu. You'll see that I'm firing slow, I'm reloading slow, my ammo count is non-existent. However, here's where the display upgrades and remove downgrades menu comes into play. So we go here, go to whatever weapon that we bought this special tweak on, and you'll see that all the downgrades are here for you to remove. And if we resupply, weapon works normally, but look, the upside from the tweak is still there. So now you have 5.5 times the damage, which stacks on to all your other damage upgrades. So this is basically just the basic knowledge that anyone needs to do any damage at all. And that's about it for the basic stuff. One thing I do want to note on is how you can actually stack the downgrade removal over and over. This is your main damage source, so it's very important information to you to learn in just any weapon type. Unless it doesn't have a special tweak. I think the Flying Guillotine does not have any special tweaks, but, you know, it's for damage. So one thing I do want to do is go through all the meta loadouts. So here we have Scout Loadout, which is just Shortstop, Critical, Blast and Basher. Shortstop because it has no recoil. Critical because any consumable allows you to get 50% less damage on it, so that's double your effective health. The Boston Basher allows you to fly midair. Another good one is the Phantom War, but you don't need that more crit chance unless you're fighting a tank. Next thing I want to do go through is Soldier. So we got the direct hit because it can mini crit airborne, and you know Uber Upgrades, mini crits become crits. 3 times damage, no fall off when they jump. Battalion's backup is insane. I'm pretty sure it's bugged with damage resistances, but the biggest thing about this is that it protects you from crits, which completely shuts down weapons such as the Fog. Detonator doesn't completely shut down pills, but it does negate a ton of the damage. This murdering action, it actually doesn't matter. Your melee won't matter because you probably aren't going to use it. Have Setoichi is probably the best one just because it has more range. So, Pyro, I would say that just keep to Flog and Dragon's Fury. Detonator is just way better than all these. Well, Gas Passer if they're not dodging at all. Melee, I would just use Extinguisher or Postal Plumber just because extra additive damage whenever you hit someone, because I'm pretty sure on Pyro's melee, yep, you have set damage type Ignite, which allows your weapon to ignite a player. Alright. So we got into Domain. Meta is just Gradient Launcher, Titan, and I would melee doesn't matter actually. Actually, Scottman's Skull Cutter is probably the best out of all of them, since you can just remove that speed penalty, and I'm pretty sure there's damage hidden penalty on it, or not the damage bonus hidden, not damage penalty. So basically, all you do with this is charge and shoot pills, because for some reason on Blackwonder they have it so when you charge, your grenade launcher gets crits. I have no idea why they made it like that. And it's just, I'm pretty sure a bug, because random crits are disabled by default on the plugin itself. So, and if you want to go stickies, sticky jumper, you will always win in a sticky versus sticky if you have the sticky jumper, due to the fact that, so there is an upgrade where you can destroy other people's stickies, but the sticky jumper isn't affected by this, but you can still destroy other stickies. Next one is heavy, Natasha all the way, and any consumable, holiday punch, definitely. So Natasha because swollen hit, damage res, and those 2 downgrades you can just remove. So one hit is actually really useful for pill demo because they can't charge if they're slowed, and you just get free res. The other one is Brass Beast, but no. Sandwich res on the consumables, Holiday Punch, you can basically stun Ubered medics. Next one is Engineer. Panic Attack. It's just free damage, the bolts per shot. Frontier Justice Rescue Ranger. It doesn't really matter that much. Don't use the Pumpson though. It has really poor DPS, but its burst is okay. Secondaries. They're almost alike, the vanilla variants, so choose whatever you want. Wrangler, I don't think there's any upgrades for it. Short Circuit, you can delete projectiles, which can help out your sentry quite a bit. But of course, they can just aim to the side also. So, questionable in usability. Also, really easy to dodge the right click or alt fire. Wrench does not matter whatsoever. These are basically all identical except the Gunslinger. Next we go to Medic. Just use Crusader's Crossbow. No point in investing into a hit scan weapon that does no damage at all, basically. And I'm, yep, pretty sure you can get as much crit, or not crit, Uber on hit per second as like the syringe gun anyway. So really, Crusader's Crossbow, always. Miniguns. This thing definitely needs a nerf. For one, you are basically forced to use it if you want to make late game enjoyable in any way, because you're not getting one shot. For two, the Ubers are insane. Okay, so I want you to look at the Uber duration bonus. I want you to see how long you can make it. Consider the base Uber duration is 8 seconds. Yeah, 48 seconds of pure invulnerability. If it wasn't for a glitch in one of the updates where they added power play, you would constantly have Uber for this 48 seconds. Keep in mind, when you max out Uber charge rate bonus, it almost comes instantly. And also, for some reason, they encourage medic chaining with the Uber charge rate bonus for a healer. So if you have two medics healing each other, you have constant just invulnerability for basically forever, as long as you hold right click. Is really dumb, and probably should get patched at some point at least. So we go into quick fix. This one you use if you're actually going outside, because of quick fix you can, heal yourself. Vaccinator, this is what you use if you want to like be the most annoying person ever and heal your teammates from spawn. Poor design choice. Kritzkrieg, not really use, since invulnerability is usually a lot better than crits, especially since they come at basically the same rate. Sniper, doesn't matter, don't use classic. Bows are alright, but you're gonna have to get a macro, or else, DPS suffers, and also your movement suffers, because for some reason they made it so you can't jump. But you can jump shot with the bow, which doesn't make much sense. So we move on to secondaries. Just use Girardi or any of the wearables. Melee, it really doesn't matter at all. Spy, don't think about using the Enforcer. So the server has a config where it moves the attack's pierce, damage resistance, and effects and bonuses. So I would either choose the Ambassador or just literature for free quick duration and quick on hit. Ambassador being, the better version for damage. Since on here, there is no cooldown for the headshots, which is insane, since, they're crits. Knives, it does not matter, once again. Only one that is different is the Spicicle, which I would recommend you use with, if you're going gun spy. But just stick to stock, and this is also questionable. I'm not actually sure if the Cloak and Dagger and the Invis Watch have the same damage resistance while cloaked. But I think the Cloak and Dagger has more res. I haven't checked in such a long time, but Cloak and Dagger, since you'll never run out of cloak duration, especially with, pretty sure it's really cheap. It is really cheap. Alright. Yeah, you are never going to run out at this rate. Unless you're traveling the whole entire map over and over without, thinking about your cloak at all. And how much does it cost? 15,000, which is practically nothing for the effect it has. And those are all the meta loadouts. For a few of these, there are substitutions, of course. Scout. If you have the CTX files, I would definitely recommend Force Nature over Shortstop. Shortstop just lowers your DPS, but with the Force Nature, you got that 20% bullets per shot, and also it just has more base damage than the Shortstop. So basically, it does a lot more damage. But the problem is, you have to have those CTX files for the no recoil, or else your screen's gonna shake like crazy. Notice how when I fire it, I have no recoil. If you wanna go... never mind. Mad Milk is very good early on. You basically heal all your health instantly the moment you hit something. And early on, res actually matters. Wow. Airstrike is very good. I'm pretty sure it puts you at the cap of 66 shots per second. Because I know rocket launchers have 22 shots per second cap. And I'm pretty sure the airstrike triples. I'm not sure about that, but I think triples your fire rate, so yeah, that's about it. Direct hit, rocket jumper, and airstrike. Kalmangwari gets owned by buildings, so I would not recommend using it. Early on, the conch might be better than the backup. Buff banner, if you know your enemies do no damage at all, just so you can kill them faster. Base jumper is interesting, but definitely do not use it for rocket launcher because if you didn't know, there's a thing called mod rage damage boost, which basically gives you a damage boost based on how full your rage meter is. So if you have no rage meter, you lose on that multiplier, and losing on a multiplier is a lot of less damage. And I'm pretty sure that's about it. All the good playstyles. Actually, I'm pretty sure Manmelter is pretty good for Afterburn, but it's really hard to land a hit, so it's not very practical. And I think that's all there is. So that's your introduction to Uber Upgrades, and I will probably never upload a video unless I want to. I have just pure disgust of something. Also, I want a big shout out to Toraf. Please unblock me on Steam.